Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Bless you, children of God. Habar Yaakov. So blessed to see everyone once again today. Let's talk about housing in Kenya. Those who follow me know that I shared maybe a Facebook post or a short YouTube video earlier about the cost of housing here in Nakuru. So I want to go over some of the different cities that I've been visiting and that I've stayed in and share a little bit about that. Now, of course, if you're coming to Kenya, more than likely you're going to arrive at the capital of the nation, which is Nairobi. And for housing in Nairobi, it's a various range. When we first moved to the Nairobi area, we were staying in Raqqa. And in Raqqa, we were paying in US dollars roughly $358 a month. That's for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. It's a relatively nice area, surrounded by other high-rise apartment buildings, not much green space and such, but you can also go to other areas of Nairobi. You've probably seen videos of us staying at Airbnb apartments in Kileleshwa as well as Kilimani. Those apartments can go anywhere for $1,000 US and up. So there's a wide range of housing that's available in the Nairobi area. On the affordable end, 348 or less, and on the high end, 1,000 or more in some of the more upscale areas like Westlands, Parklands, Lavington, and such. So you can research those areas. I'm sure you'll find some listings of available apartments and housing in those areas. So anywhere, I would suggest to you anywhere from 300 to 1,000 or above. Of course, you can buy whatever your money can afford if you'd like to go higher than that. Now, when you come to Nakuru, and I've shared this in previous videos, but some people may not have seen those. So in Nakuru, you can go for half that price or even more. In Nakuru, my apartment, I think I shared the post earlier, is $1,380 a year. I know some of you need to let that sink in. Yes, I rent an apartment in Nakuru, a 2-bedroom, 3-bath apartment for $1,380 a year. That breaks down monthly $115 a month. And I've shared some videos of that apartment in previous videos, and I may add a link to it in this description of this video. So you can go. I recently saw a 2-bedroom apartment, a brand new building for rent in Nakuru for 28,000 shillings, and one version of that apartment is at 30,000 shillings. So I'll do the conversions for you and put it on the screen when I edit this video. So bottom line, you can live in Nakuru from anywhere from $100 a month to $300 a month, and you're fine. In Nairobi, from $300 a month and up. So you see the cost of living is much cheaper here in Nakuru. Another subject I want to touch on is a lot of discussion about Black Americans coming to Kenya, or African Americans, however they want to be referred to. And there was some pushback by some Kenyans in some of the videos I saw about prices rising and things as such. News for the Kenyans. The prices were risen way before Black Americans started coming to Kenya. The Chinese, the Somali, the Sudanese, the Indians, they've already been here. And one of the things I find interesting is that the average Kenyan never gets a chance to even partake of the high-rise experience in Nairobi. None of my staff members here in Nakuru have ever stayed, for instance, in the Airbnb seeing the skyline of Kilimani, Kileleshwa. They've never even been to the Yaya Center or Two Rivers Mall, which is common for those who travel to the country from out of the country. So that's a misnomer about raising prices by coming. The prices are not designed for the average Kenyan. Just as in America, the luxury places in New York and Los Angeles and Miami, they're not built to cater to the average American who don't have access to larger sums of money. And here in Kenya, it's no different. So we'll put that to bed. Black Americans are not the ones that's causing prices to go up. We just can't afford the prices of the places that have already gone up. It's as simple as that. But I want to expose the average Kenyan to a higher level of living or experiencing a taste of it, because Kenya has a lot to offer. It has everything to offer that America does except the bad weather, the crime, the racism, all right? And so Kenya has some advantages above the West, because if you watch the news recently, you'll hear about tornado storms that have destroyed homes and killed up to 28 people in the state of Kentucky, and that's a regular occurrence in America. Tornadoes, hurricanes, snow, sleet, blizzards, all of that is a part of the 4 seasons of America. Kenya has 1 season, and that is terrific. Okay, so that's one of my top 3 reasons that I suggest people either vacation, visit, or even retire here in Kenya. Kenya has a lot to offer. So you've already heard me talk about the housing, how much it can cost to live in Nairobi, how much it can cost to live here in Nakuru. I haven't visited, there's a lot of areas on the beach areas, but we'll be sharing some information with you about that. And you can always search on Google. You'll find listings in Mombasa, Denali Beach, and Malindi and places like that that will give you an idea of what the housing cost is in those areas. So it's important that we keep things in perspective. Another thing a lot of people have been writing me about is business investment opportunities. Now, the opportunities we offer through our Affordable African Horizons are designed for startup, entry-level businesses. We try not to invest more than 20,000 shillings, which is roughly 150 US, in some type of startup to see whether it even gets off the ground. As I shared previously, I don't believe in investing any money that you cannot afford to lose. Have your savings in place, have your budget in place before you start talking about investing money. But if you have a business idea, you can share it with us. We can put it through our analysis, write a business plan and a viability study to see how viable it may actually be here in Kenya. Even if it don't produce a lot by American standards, it will produce a good sum by Kenyan standards. You can safely probably generate enough money through your business to pay for your apartment, for say in Nakuru. If you get a reasonably priced apartment, which in my opinion, all the apartments are reasonably priced, anywhere from $100 to $300 a month. You're living a very good life in a nice apartment here. So there's some things to think about. Also, interesting lately, we have to be aware of the medical situations here. Malaria is something that's kind of common in parts of Africa, and Kenya is no exception. One of our fundis who designed our chairs in our cafe, the fabric you see on the wall, she was working with that fabric, putting on our chairs, and now we find out a couple of days ago she's been admitted to the hospital with malaria. So that's something you may need to be aware of. I know when you come from the States, you have to have a yellow fever shot, but there was not a real mention of malaria. So that's something to keep in mind. We went ahead and purchased some of the preventive pills that you take before malaria may get to you as a preventive measure. So you may want to think about that. I'll share the information in the description what the name of that particular medication is. It's 3 pills that you take. And so you might want to keep that in mind. When you're here, you may also want to have a mosquito net over your bed to keep the mosquitoes out from getting to you while you're sleeping. Just something for you to think about. And I think in my last broadcast, I forgot to mention that when I left America to come back to Africa, that my luggage got lost by Turkish Airways. And also that I flew direct from New York to Nairobi on Kenya Airways. A great experience. I didn't know what to expect. The planes are older than the other airlines I flew on, which was British Airways, even JetBlue. So it's an older plane, but the flight was comfortable. It was a long flight, direct flight from New York to Nairobi, which is in fact the flight that I'm gonna suggest for all those who are coming for our mission trip in December. We want everybody to gather in New York, JFK, and then as a part of your package, we include international airfare. So everyone will be booked on the same flight, the direct flight on Kenya Airways, which is the pride of Africa. And so you'll fly directly from New York to Nairobi. It's a 14-hour flight, so be prepared for that. But they feed you often. You have television, movies, things to entertain yourself. So you get up and stretch your legs, sleep, eat, watch television, watch movies, listen to music. The time goes by relatively fast. So that's something else I wanted to mention to all of you out there. So it's exciting to introduce others to these African horizons where they can get a chance to explore some of what Africa, in this case, Kenya, has to offer. So if you're looking to make a trip to Kenya, we have a mission trip planned for December 1st through the 15th, 14-day, 3-city tour. We'll be going towards to Nairobi, then we'll spend about 2 or 3 days in Mombasa, the Nani Beach area, and then 2 or 3 days in Nakuru before going back to Nairobi for the final couple of days before you head back out. We'll have missions, outreach, you have safari trips, you have investment seminars, all that you can take advantage of. You get a chance to tour some of the real estate in Nairobi and surrounding areas, as well as the beach areas of Mombasa, the Nani Beach, and Malindi, and then the Nakuru, same thing. So you'll get a really good feel and vibe for the environments in all 3 cities, which are all very different for each other. And some of you may want to, on return visits, come back, examine some of the Airbnbs. Some of you may want to plan to retire here. Then you have the opportunity to see exactly what the vibe is like in the different parts of Kenya. And I look forward to sharing those opportunities with you. So feel free to reach out to me for more information or to schedule a consultation. We're affordableafricanhorizons.com. I'll have information on that in the description of this video. But in the meantime, I appreciate all of those who are writing, and I look forward to communicating with you to examine the options that's specifically made for your needs. So thanks again for watching. I look forward to touching base with you. If you'd like to stay informed, you can hit the like, subscribe button to be made aware when we post new videos. Hopefully I'll have some more videos with you coming up soon about the SGR, which is the train from Nairobi to Mombasa. I'll look forward to sharing that with you. In the meantime, God bless you. Kwaheri.